Maya woke up early, just like every morning. The sun was just starting to rise, painting the sky with soft orange and pink colors. She stretched her arms and got ready for work. Today was going to be a busy day at the small cafe where she worked as a waitress. She had been working there for almost 2 years now, saving every penny to one day go back to school and build a better future for herself. Maya lived in a small apartment not far from the cafe. The place was simple, but it was hers. She liked to think of it as her own little world, a place where she could rest after long days. But today, she felt a little nervous. She didn't know why, but something in the air made her heart beat a little faster. She walked down the street, holding her worn-out purse tightly. The cafe was already busy when she arrived. The smell of fresh coffee and baked bread filled the room, making her feel a little more awake. She put on her apron, tied her hair back, and took a deep breath. Then she smiled, ready to face whatever the day would bring. The cafe was a small place, with only a few tables, but it was popular in the neighborhood. People came here for the warm food, friendly faces, and peaceful atmosphere. Maya loved serving customers and hearing their stories. Sometimes, she felt like she was part of their lives, even if only for a few minutes. The morning rush began quickly. Customers came in one after another, asking for coffee, sandwiches, and pastries. Maya moved fast but carefully, making sure every order was perfect. She greeted each person with a polite smile and a kind word. Some days were hard, but she never let the stress show. About an hour after the cafe opened, the door suddenly swung open, and a man walked in. He was tall and wore a dark, expensive suit. His shoes were shiny and clean, and he carried a black leather briefcase. His hair was neatly combed, and he looked like someone important. Maya noticed the way he looked around the cafe, like he didn't belong there. He wasn't like the other customers who came in quietly and waited patiently. The man came to the counter and snapped his fingers loudly, making Maya jump a little. "I want the best coffee you have. And I want it now," he said in a sharp voice. Maya kept her calm and smiled politely. "Good morning, sir. I'll make your coffee right away," she said softly. The man didn't say anything else. He sat down at a corner table, placing his briefcase carefully beside him. Maya noticed the way he tapped his fingers on the table, looking at his watch again and again. He seemed impatient, like he didn't have time for anything. Maya went back to the counter and started preparing the coffee. She made sure it was just right, hot, strong, and fresh. When she carried the cup to the man, she tried to smile again. "Here is your coffee, sir. I hope you like it," she said. The man took the cup without looking up. "This will have to do," he muttered. Maya's smile faded for a moment, but she didn't say anything. She walked away quietly, feeling a little sad. She had never been treated like that before. Most people were kind, or at least polite. As the day went on, Maya noticed the man stayed in the cafe for a long time. He worked on his laptop and made a few phone calls, but he never looked happy or relaxed. Whenever Maya passed by his table, he barely looked at her. Despite his rude behavior, Maya didn't stop doing her job with care. She reminded herself that not everyone was having a good day, and maybe the man had his reasons to be upset. But deep down, she felt a strange feeling like she knew him from somewhere, but she couldn't remember where. When the morning rush ended, Maya sat down for a quick break. She took a sip of water and thought about the man in the suit. She wondered what his story was. Was he really as unhappy as he looked? Did he have a family? Did he ever smile? Maya's mind wandered to her own life. She had grown up with her mother, Anna, who was kind but sometimes sad. Maya never knew much about her father. Her mother didn't like to talk about him, and Maya never dared to ask. Sometimes, she wished she could meet him, just once, to understand where she came from. But now, Looking at the man in the cafe, she felt a strange connection she couldn't explain. Could he be someone from her past? It was impossible, she told herself. He looked too different from what she had imagined. Still, the feeling stayed. Maya decided to be brave and keep her heart open. She didn't know what the future held, but she wanted to believe that something good was waiting for her, maybe even in the most unexpected places. As she returned to work, Maya smiled softly. The cafe was still busy, and she had more customers to serve. But in her heart, something had changed. Today was just the beginning of a new story, one full of mystery, hope, and maybe even a little magic. The day at the cafe went on, but Maya couldn't stop thinking about the man in the expensive suit. He had stayed quiet most of the morning, focused on his laptop and phone calls. She noticed the way he frowned, as if he carried a heavy weight on his shoulders. Even when she passed by his table, he barely looked up. After finishing with another group of customers, Maya took a moment to catch her breath. She wiped her hands on her apron and looked toward the man again. He was still sitting in the same spot, but now his face seemed even colder and more serious. He had not smiled once since he came in. Maya walked over slowly, trying to keep her smile kind and soft. She carried a small plate with a warm muffin, thinking it might cheer him up. "Sir, would you like to try this? It's fresh from the oven," she said gently. The man looked up finally, his dark eyes sharp and cold. "No, thank you," he said shortly. Then he looked back down at his laptop. There was no warmth in his voice, no hint of kindness. Maya felt a small pinch in her heart but didn't show it. She nodded and quietly placed the plate on a nearby table. She had learned to not take rude customers personally, but this man's coldness was different. It felt distant and heavy, like something more than just a bad mood. The cafe was full now, but the man barely noticed. He was lost in his work, typing furiously, talking quietly on the phone. At one point, Maya overheard a few words: important meeting, deadline, and money. She guessed he was a businessman, very busy and very stressed. Still, there was something else about him. Something that made Maya's mind race with questions. She remembered the way he looked at her earlier, as if he had seen something familiar but didn't understand it yet. But when she tried to meet his eyes again, he looked away quickly. For the rest of the morning, Maya worked hard to keep the cafe running smoothly. She took orders, cleaned tables, and served coffee with her usual smile. But inside, she felt tired in a different way. It wasn't just the work, it was the feeling of mystery around the man in the suit. At one point, the man called her over again. Maya's heart jumped, but she kept calm. She walked to his table carefully. "What do you want?" Maya asked politely, hoping the man's mood would soften. "I want a black coffee," he said, his voice sharp and cold. "No sugar, no cream. Just make it fast." Maya nodded and went to prepare the coffee. She made it carefully, hoping to bring a little warmth to the man's day. When she brought the cup to him, she said softly, "Here is your coffee, sir. I hope it's just how you like it." The man took the cup and drank it without a word. He didn't smile or thank her. Instead, he stared out the window, looking lost in thought. Maya watched him quietly, feeling a strange mix of sadness and curiosity. Who was this man? Why was he so unhappy? Why did she feel like she knew him, even though they had never met before? As the morning turned to afternoon, more customers came in and out of the cafe. Maya served them all with kindness, but her thoughts kept drifting back to the man. Suddenly, the man stood up and gathered his things. He looked at Maya one last time, his eyes softer than before. "Keep the change," he said, dropping a large bill on the table. "And don't expect me to come back." Maya nodded, too surprised to say anything. She watched as he left the cafe, the door closing softly behind him. After he was gone, Maya felt a strange emptiness. She wasn't sure why, but something inside her ached. She wondered if she would ever see him again or if that was the last time their paths would cross. That evening, Maya went home and told her mother, Anna, about the strange man. Anna listened carefully, her face serious. Sometimes, people carry heavy burdens, Maya, Anna said quietly. Not everyone shows their pain, but it's there. You were kind to him, and that is what matters. Maya nodded but still felt curious. She wanted to know more about the man and why he had acted the way he did. Later that night, Maya sat by the window, looking at the stars. She thought about her own life, the questions she had about her father, the dreams she held close. And she wondered if fate was trying to tell her something. Maybe, she thought, some stories begin with strangers who don't even know they are connected. The days after the man in the expensive suit visited the cafe were quiet but full of questions for Maya. She kept thinking about him, the way he looked, so serious, so distant, and yet somehow familiar. She wondered where he came from and what kind of life he led. But mostly, she wondered why he seemed so lonely. At work, Maya tried to focus on her job, but her mind kept drifting. She served coffee and smiled at customers, but inside, a small part of her was searching for answers she didn't have. She kept hoping she would see the man again, to ask him why he was so sad and cold. One afternoon, after the cafe had closed, Maya sat with her mother, Anna, at their small kitchen table. The soft light of the evening made the room feel calm and safe. Maya looked at her mother and decided it was time to ask something she had avoided for years. Mom, Maya said slowly, can I ask you something about my father? Anna's face changed for a moment. She looked away, biting her lip. Maya could tell the question made her uncomfortable, but she waited patiently. Your father, Anna began, her voice soft, he is a part of your story, but also part of a story I didn't expect to tell so soon. Maya listened closely as Anna started to share bits of the past, small pieces she had never heard before. When I was young, I made a choice, Anna said quietly. I met a man, and for a short time, we were together. But life was hard, and things didn't work out. He left, and I never heard from him again. Maya's heart beat faster. Do you know where he is now? Anna shook her head sadly. No, I tried to find him, but sometimes people disappear for a reason. I wanted to protect you from the pain. I thought it was better not to tell you. Maya thought about the man at the cafe, the cold, quiet businessman with the expensive suit. Could he be her father? The idea made her nervous and curious at the same time. Mom, Maya said, what if I met him? What if the man at the cafe is my father? Anna looked at her daughter with wide eyes. That could be possible, she said slowly. But you have to be careful, Maya. Sometimes, the truth is hard to understand, and not everyone is ready to face it. Maya nodded. She knew the truth might bring pain, but she also felt a strange hope growing inside her, a hope that maybe, just maybe, her life was about to change. That night, Maya lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. She thought about her mother's words and the man who had walked into the cafe so suddenly. She remembered his cold voice, the sharp look in his eyes, and the way he had seemed so lost. She closed her eyes and whispered, if you are my father, please let me know. The next morning, Maya woke up early, feeling a strange mix of fear and excitement. She got ready for work and walked to the cafe with the letter Anna had given her years ago, a letter from a lawyer she had never opened. Maya had always been too scared to read it, but now she was ready. Before she started her shift, Maya sat in the quiet cafe and unfolded the paper. The letter said someone was trying to find her, someone who claimed to be her father. Maya's hands trembled as she read. The letter gave the name of a man, Samuel. She looked around the cafe and thought about the man who had visited recently. Could Samuel be the same man? Maya took a deep breath and decided she would find out. She knew it wouldn't be easy, and it might change everything, but she felt ready to face the truth. That afternoon, she called her mother and told her about the letter. Anna's voice was gentle but serious. Be careful, Maya. Sometimes people want something for themselves, not for you. But I trust your heart. Follow what you believe is right. Maya thanked her mother and hung up. She felt both scared and hopeful. Her life had been ordinary until now, but something was shifting. The next day, the man in the expensive suit came back to the cafe. Maya saw him walk in and felt her heart skip a beat. This time, she was not just a waitress, she was a woman searching for answers. The man didn't look as cold as before. He seemed tired, but there was a softness in his eyes. Maya gathered her courage and walked up to him. Sir, she said softly, may I ask your name? The man looked up and studied her face. Samuel, he answered quietly. Maya felt her breath catch. Samuel, she repeated. My mother told me about you. Samuel looked surprised but didn't say anything right away. For a moment, the noise of the cafe disappeared, and it was just the two of them. I don't know what to say, Samuel finally said. I didn't expect to see you here. Maya's heart was pounding. I want to know the truth, she said. I want to understand. Samuel nodded slowly. Then let's start talking. That day marked the beginning of something new. It was the start of a journey filled with questions, emotions, and the hope of healing. Maya didn't know where it would lead, but she was ready to find out. The next few days passed slowly for Maya. She found it hard to focus on work or anything else. Her thoughts were full of questions and hopes about Samuel, the man she had only just met, but who might be her father. The letter from the lawyer was still on her kitchen table, waiting for her to read it again. She kept wondering what Samuel wanted and what this meeting would mean for her life. One afternoon, while Maya was busy serving coffee, her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She hesitated for a moment but answered carefully. Hello, Maya, a calm voice said. This is Mr. Thomas, a lawyer. I'm calling about the letter you received. Your father, Samuel, has asked me to arrange a meeting. He wants to speak with you in person. Maya's heart raced. When? She asked softly. Tomorrow afternoon, at a small restaurant downtown, the lawyer replied. It will be a private meeting, just the two of you. Maya felt a mixture of excitement and fear. She wasn't sure if she was ready, but she knew she had to go. She thanked the lawyer and hung up. For a moment, she just sat there, trying to calm her racing heart. That evening, Maya told her mother about the call. Anna looked at her daughter with a mix of worry and hope. Be brave, Maya, Anna said gently. Whatever happens, you have your own strength. The next day, Maya woke up early. She picked out her clothes carefully, a simple dress, nothing too fancy, but neat and clean. She wanted to look her best, even if she was nervous inside. When it was time, Maya took a deep breath and left for the restaurant. It was a small, quiet place with soft music playing in the background. The kind of place where people came to have important talks. Maya sat at a table near the window, watching the street outside. She felt her hands tremble as she waited. Then the door opened, and Samuel walked in. He looked different from the last time she saw him in the cafe. His face was softer, less serious. He smiled a little, but it was clear he was nervous too. Hello, Maya, Samuel said, sitting down across from her. Hello, Maya replied, her voice steady but soft. For a few moments, they just looked at each other, unsure what to say. Then Samuel took a deep breath. I know this is a lot to take in, he began. I never meant to be a stranger to you. I made mistakes, and I am sorry for the pain I caused. Maya listened carefully. She had imagined this moment many times but never knew what he would say. Your mother told me about you many years ago, Samuel continued. I was young and scared back then. I didn't know how to be a father. But I never stopped thinking about you. Maya felt tears welling in her eyes but blinked them away. Why did you leave? She asked quietly. Samuel looked down, shame in his eyes. I was afraid, he said. Afraid of failure, afraid of losing you. I thought distance was the best way to protect you. Maya felt a mix of anger and sadness, but also something softer, understanding. I don't want to be angry, she said. I just want to know the truth. Samuel nodded. I want to be part of your life now, if you will let me. Maya took a deep breath. This was the moment she had dreamed of but was still scared to face. I want that too, she said. They talked for hours, sharing stories about their lives. Samuel told Maya about his work, the challenges he had faced, and how he had searched for her. Maya shared her dreams, her struggles, and her hopes for the future. By the end of the meeting, something had changed between them. The distance and silence were starting to disappear. They were no longer strangers but two people beginning to build a connection. When they left the restaurant, Samuel walked Maya to the door. Thank you for giving me a chance, he said softly. Maya smiled. Thank you for being honest. As she walked home, Maya felt a strange lightness inside her. For the first time in a long time, she felt hope not just for the future, but for the family she never thought she would have. That night, Maya wrote in her journal, Today, I met my father. It was hard, but it was real. Maybe this is the start of something new. I'm ready to find out where this road will take me. After that important meeting with Samuel, Maya felt a strange mix of emotions. She was excited but also a little scared. She had spent most of her life without knowing her father, and now, suddenly, he was trying to be part of her world. It felt like stepping into a new place without a map. The next day, Maya went to work as usual, but her mind was far away. She served coffee and food with her usual smile, but inside, she thought about what Samuel had said. Could their relationship really grow? Could she trust someone she had never known? At the cafe, Maya's friends noticed a change in her. You seem different, one of the regular customers said. Like something good is happening. Maya smiled softly. Maybe it is, she said, not ready to explain everything yet. That evening, Maya called Samuel. She wanted to keep talking and learn more about him. They spoke for a long time, sharing small stories about their daily lives. It wasn't easy to open up, but both of them felt the walls between them slowly breaking down. Over the next few weeks, Samuel visited the cafe several times. Each time, Maya felt less nervous and more curious. They talked about simple things, music, books, and even favorite foods. Samuel sometimes brought small gifts, like a new book or a flower, and Maya was surprised by how thoughtful he could be. One afternoon, Samuel asked Maya if she wanted to visit his office. I want to show you where I work, he said. It's part of my life, and I want you to be a part of it too. Maya felt nervous but agreed. She wanted to understand more about the man who might be her father. The office was in a tall building downtown. It was very different from the small cafe where Maya worked. The walls were full of pictures, awards, and books. Samuel introduced her to some of his colleagues, who welcomed her warmly. Maya felt a little out of place but also proud. She could see how hard Samuel worked and how much he cared about his job. It gave her a new way to see him, not just as a stranger but as a real person with dreams and responsibilities. During the visit, Samuel shared more about his past. He told Maya about the mistakes he had made when he was younger, and how those mistakes had kept him away for so long. I was afraid to face you, Samuel said quietly. But I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want to be your father, even if it's late. Maya felt tears in her eyes. She reached out and took his hand. I'm ready to try, she said softly. As the weeks passed, Maya and Samuel spent more time together. They went for walks in the park, shared meals, and even watched movies. Slowly, they were building something new, a relationship based on hope, forgiveness, and understanding. One evening, after a long day at work, Maya sat with her mother and shared the good news. Samuel is really trying, Maya said, smiling. He wants to be part of my life. Anna smiled too, but her eyes were full of tears. I'm happy for you, Maya. You deserve this happiness. Maya felt grateful for her mother's support. She knew the road ahead would not always be easy, but she was no longer alone. One weekend, Samuel invited Maya and Anna to his home. It was a large house with a beautiful garden. Maya felt nervous walking through the front door. She wondered how it would feel to be inside the life of the man who had been a stranger for so long. But Samuel was kind and warm. He showed them around and introduced them to a few family friends. Maya felt welcomed, even though everything was new and a little overwhelming. That evening, as they sat around the dinner table, Maya realized something important. Family was not just about the past or the mistakes. It was about the moments they shared now, the laughter, the kindness, and the effort to understand each other. Before leaving, Samuel pulled Maya aside. Thank you for giving me a chance, he said quietly. I know I have a lot to make up for. Maya smiled. We'll take it one step at a time. As Maya walked back to her apartment that night, she felt a lightness in her heart. The future was still uncertain, but for the first time, she believed that it could be full of love. The new relationship between Maya and Samuel was growing slowly, like a delicate flower reaching for sunlight. Each visit, each conversation, was a small step toward understanding and healing. But life was not without its challenges. Both Maya and Samuel knew that their past could not be erased, and that building trust would take time. One bright Saturday morning, Maya arrived at Samuel's house for breakfast. The sun was shining, birds were singing, and everything seemed peaceful. But inside, Maya felt nervous. Today, they planned to talk about the future, the next steps in their relationship. Samuel greeted her with a warm smile and led her to the kitchen, where the smell of fresh bread and coffee filled the air. Anna was already there, helping with the cooking. Maya felt comforted by their presence. After breakfast, Samuel sat down with Maya in the living room. I want to be honest with you, he said softly. I know I can't change the past, but I want to be here now, for you. I hope we can build something real. Maya nodded. I want that too, Samuel. But sometimes, I feel afraid. What if it's too late? What if we can't fix what was broken? Samuel took her hand gently. It's never too late to try, he said. We just have to be patient with each other. Just then, Maya's phone buzzed. It was a message from her boss at the cafe, asking her to work an extra shift on Sunday. Maya sighed. She had hoped to spend more time with Samuel that weekend. I have to work tomorrow, Maya said, disappointment in her voice. Samuel smiled kindly. That's okay. We'll find time. Life is busy, but we'll make it work. As the days went on, Maya struggled to balance her work and her new relationship. Sometimes, she felt torn between her job at the cafe and the chance to know her father. She loved her work, but she also wanted to spend time with Samuel. One afternoon, Maya's close friend, Lisa, noticed that Maya seemed distracted. Is everything okay? Lisa asked as they shared a cup of coffee. Maya hesitated but then shared a little about Samuel. Lisa smiled. It's good you're trying to connect. But don't forget to take care of yourself too. Maya nodded. I'm trying. It's just hard sometimes. At the cafe, Maya's co-workers were supportive but also curious. Some had heard about her meeting with Samuel and wanted to know more. Maya shared only what she felt comfortable with, keeping some things private. One day, while Maya was serving a group of customers, a man walked into the cafe. He looked familiar, but Maya didn't recognize him right away. Then she realized it was someone from Samuel's business circle. The man smiled and said, "I hear you've been spending time with Samuel. He talks about you often." Maya felt a mix of emotions. It was strange to hear about herself from someone else. She wondered what Samuel had said and how much he had shared. Later that evening, Maya and Samuel met at a quiet park. They sat on a bench under a big tree and talked about the day. "People are starting to notice," Samuel said. "Some are curious, some surprised. But I want you to know, no matter what, I'm proud of you." Maya smiled, feeling warmth in her chest. "Thank you, Samuel. That means a lot." But then, Samuel's expression grew serious. "There is something else I need to tell you," he said carefully. "Not everyone in my life will be happy about us reconnecting." Maya's heart sank. "What do you mean?" Samuel sighed. "Some people think I should forget the past and focus only on my work. They don't understand why I want to be part of your life." Maya looked into Samuel's eyes and saw the struggle there. She realized that their journey wouldn't be easy. There would be obstacles, judgments, and moments of doubt. But she also knew that she was stronger than her fears. And Samuel, despite his mistakes, was trying to be better. "We'll face it together," Maya said firmly. "No matter what happens, I want you to know you're not alone." Samuel smiled, relief shining through. "Thank you, Maya. That means everything." As the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the park, Maya felt a deep sense of peace. The road ahead might be difficult, but she was ready to walk it step by step, with hope and courage. That night, Maya called her mother. "Mom, I want to keep going with Samuel. It's not perfect, but it feels right." Anna's voice was full of love and support. "I'm proud of you, Maya. Follow your heart and be patient. Love can grow in the most unexpected ways." Maya smiled as she ended the call. She knew the journey was just beginning, but she was no longer afraid. She was ready to build a new chapter of her life, one filled with challenges, choices, and above all, love. The days turned into weeks, and Maya's life slowly began to change in ways she never expected. The man she once thought was just a rude billionaire sitting at her cafe was now becoming an important part of her world. Samuel was no longer just a stranger, he was her father. But change is never easy. One morning, Maya woke up feeling a little nervous. Today was the day she had decided to introduce Samuel to some of her closest friends from the cafe. She wanted them to see the man who was trying so hard to be part of her life. It was her way of showing them that her past and her future were coming together. When Maya arrived at the cafe, she saw her friends already gathered, waiting to meet Samuel. She smiled, feeling a mix of excitement and worry. The door opened, and Samuel walked in. He looked calm but serious. Maya could see he was nervous too. "Hello, everyone," Samuel said politely. "Thank you for welcoming me." Her friends smiled and shook his hand. Some of them asked questions about his work, while others simply listened, wanting to understand the man behind the story. Maya watched as Samuel talked with her friends. She saw a different side of him, a kind, caring man who wanted to connect. After the meeting, Maya felt proud. This was a big step, and it gave her hope that things were getting better. But life still had its challenges. One afternoon, Maya received a call from her boss. There was a chance to manage a new cafe branch opening nearby, but it would mean more work and responsibility. Maya felt excited but also unsure. Would she have enough time for this new job and her growing relationship with Samuel? That evening, she talked to Samuel about it. He listened carefully. "Go for it, Maya," Samuel said with a smile. "You deserve to grow and follow your dreams. I'll support you." Maya felt grateful. For the first time, she felt she had someone who truly believed in her. With Samuel's support, Maya took the new job. It was challenging but rewarding. She learned new skills and gained confidence. Samuel would often stop by the cafe to check on her, bringing small gifts and encouragement. One day, as Maya was closing the cafe, Samuel surprised her with tickets to a concert. "I thought we could go together," he said. "It's time to celebrate new beginnings." Maya smiled, feeling warmth in her heart. "I'd love that." At the concert, they enjoyed the music and the lights. For a few hours, the past felt far away, and the future looked bright. After the show, Samuel took Maya's hand gently. "Thank you for giving me a chance to be your father." Maya looked at him, her eyes shining. "Thank you for being brave enough to come back." They sat quietly for a moment, feeling the connection grow stronger. Back at home, Maya called her mother. "Mom, everything is changing. It's not always easy, but I'm happy." Anna's voice was soft and proud. "You've come so far, Maya. Keep following your heart." Maya knew the road ahead might still have difficulties, but she was ready. She had found family, love, and hope in the most unexpected place. As she looked out the window that night, Maya smiled. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: she was no longer alone. With Samuel by her side, she was ready to face whatever came next. And this time, she believed that happiness was possible.